Olá, Rio. Hello, hello. There's a lot of people here. This conversation will be in English, I'm sorry. I believe you guys will understand, as smart as you guys are. So let me introduce myself. My name is Ana Rita de Almeida. I'm from Lisbon, Portugal. This is not my first time at Web Summit, but my first time at Rio. I did a similar conversation in Portugal a couple of months ago, and this conversation will be about marketing, strategy, branding. As you can see, I'm wearing a football t-shirt. It's not from Flamengo, I'm sorry. I did not end up having time to buy one, but from AC Milan. And in the backstage, I was talking with Antonio. I wanted to buy a t-shirt that I saw in São Paulo last week from Corinthians. Sorry. Sorry, I know, my bad. But I wanted to buy that t-shirt, not because I'm a fan of the club, of the team, but because I like the design of it. And I want you guys to think that sometimes we end up buying things because we only like the aesthetic of it. So that's why we have these guys here with us today. We have, let me just introduce those guys correctly. So we have Renata, the Latin American director at Winning by Design, specializing in customer journey design and sales-driven marketing strategy. Hi, Renata. Then we have Antonio. Antonio is the co-founder and CMO of NJ Cash, who combines electrical engineering background with creative marketing partnership. And last but not least, we have Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Lisa is the creative director and partner at Studio Dunbar, known for expertise in visual branding and innovative design-led campaigns. So let's dive into our conversation on innovative campaign design strategy. Lisa, to start off, how would you define the role of creativity in today's marketing landscape?
I think creativity is key. I think without creativity, you will never solve any problem. You need to be very clearly focused, define your strategy, and creativity will flow from there. And really keep your focus, because you are fighting with a lot of people, not fighting, huh? You're not fighting, but competing with a lot of people. So creativity is probably what is going to save you from the jungle out there.
Okay, but picking up from there, and since we have Antonio that he's from the same field, creative field, Antonio, you're working for NJ Cash. So how do you create processes to approach a specific persona that you're working with? In this case, Gen Z, right?
Yeah. So basically, NG Cash is a fintech focused on Gen Z, so people from ages ranging from 12 to 25 years old. But since we're a bank and the Brazilian fintech landscape has a lot of amazing players, how do we communicate to an audience and create a product that's tailor-made for the young audience that is completely different from the other ones? So what NG Cash did was basically focusing in on a UX design completely tailor-made for Gen Z. So our app is completely focused on you swipe through it, navigation, our design for our social media assets, all our communications are completely differentiated from other banks. So Nubank, Itaú, they talk to an older audience, but when NG Cash enters this market, it's basically how does Gen Z communicate nowadays? It is through TikTok, through Instagram, through all the social media, but a bank cannot do marketing the same way as the old guys did.
Obviously.
We gotta do it in a different way that resonates with his audience. So NG Cash created our first 1 million customers with not that much funding,
yeah,
but with an amazing design, with an amazing experience, and that's how we connect creativity with marketing and with our business perspectives. But also, one of the biggest things is how you create processes within your organization to connect your marketing and creative teams with the technology, product, and management teams. And I think Renata has, Winning by Design has a lot to say about processes,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. We were talking in the backstage about this, and the thing is how to make the customer in the center.
Yeah.
So we are talking about marketing, sales, and CS together. This is the main important thing. So if we think about this, how we can make marketing communicate better with sales and also with customer success, because in the end, we are learning more from the customers in the success side, so then we can use, again, any information that we have brought from the customers to the marketing side. Okay. So we need to have established one methodology in the whole funnel so we can understand better how these people can communicate better and not have silos inside the company. This is the main problem that we see in our consultancy part of the firm at Winning by Design. So we enter the company, and the companies sometimes are so silent that we have a problem to understand each other and to talk to each other. So how we can make the customer in the center, making everybody talking at the same time, based on processes, metrics, and then understanding the go-to-market, and then we can train the people on the company.
So do you think, for all of you guys, do you think the main issue right now is communication? How to communicate your product between all the departments from your companies? Sales need to be connected with branding. Branding needs to be connected with marketing, and so on. How do you guys make this happen in your daily basics?
Yeah, basically, like when we look at NG Cash and all of organizations, one of the biggest problems of the creative design marketing teams is that when they comes to when a campaign arrives at them, hey, make a campaign. We just launched this product. We got to make a huge, big deal about it. The creative team doesn't usually have context of like what the business team is thinking, what the tech team thought of, or what the product team created in order to this product to be launched. So one of the biggest things for marketing and creative parts of the company is to get more context from within the organization. Usually, as Renata said, there are many silos, and the creative part of the company is commonly put aside. And so one of the ways that you can make campaigns, marketing campaigns, that resonate with your audience, but also connect with your business goals is giving context, looking at a more data-driven marketing team, but also without putting aside branding and design, which I think Lisa can talk more about.
Yeah, I think first things first is also defining your strategy of your whole company. Because without a clear strategy, with a startup or a company that's 20 years old, then you don't have a focus. And once your strategy and your positioning is defined, everything falls in place. The designers know why they're designing in a certain way. You know why you're communicating in a certain way. And if it doesn't fit the strategy, you drop it. You cannot lose time and test and this. You know where you need to go, and then you target that. Like you said, you have a particular audience. That is the strategy you need to focus. You're not going to start deviating. And I think that helps you with your communication and also uniting everyone. If everybody knows your leading principle, then they know, okay, this is where we're going together.
Adding to this, I think that it's very important to understand how to communicate inside a company. Mm-hmm. The problem is, like, sometimes you are talking to someone that doesn't understand your language. So, okay, we are talking about whatever. So if you're not communicating with these people inside the company in a language that they can understand, so how can you communicate?
I totally agree.
So the thing is, like, sometimes, like products, for example, they have a lot of very specific parts of the language that sometimes everybody else on the team cannot understand. So you're talking to nobody because they cannot understand what actually you're talking about. So I think it's very important to create a language that everybody in the company can understand, pursue, and also bring this to a very clear message on what is our purpose, what is our main activity inside the company, what is, like, why do we exist? So then we can make it for the customer much better for them to achieve whatever we are selling.
Okay, I have another question for all of you guys. Branding, creative, sales. Since we are in a tech event as Web Summit, we know that from this stage to that side, we have a lot of startups, some of them coming for the first time to such a big event as this one. How do you guys think, or better, can you give some tips in your areas, branding, design, creative, sales, how they can promote themselves here to sell their products? Tough one.
Yeah,
For
well,
sure.
going a little bit on like the creative side, I feel like since the beginning of NG Cash, we were like super a small team. What worked for us when we were trying to start putting ourselves out there was like super strict, rigorous processes towards creativity. Like there's a main idea that creativity comes out of thin air, like in the middle of the shower or taking a walk. Yeah, that happens. But that happens after a tough and rigorous process that your team gotta go through. So first, like of course, you gotta come out of with an objective. Like, what's my goal here? Is this audience like the one that I'm trying to communicate? What do they want? How can I solve a pain from them? Afterwards, like how can you connect what you're putting yourself out there with their pain? I feel like a lot of people can really decently say what they do, but really poorly say, how can I solve your issue? How
Yeah.
can I solve your problem? So one of the good things for NG Cash, like we solve a big problem that is Gen Z having access to digital money, which was pretty much underserved before we came in. So for us, it happened, hey, how do we solve, do we solve this issue for this audience? Yes. So then telling them, well, we're here, we can help you out, and there's an amazing product that is out here to help. So basically, processes and creative areas are super essential for you to get your message across.
Do you agree, Liz?
Yeah, I agree with this. No, but you need to know, actually, if you start with an idea that nobody needs you or wants you, it starts thinking of how you can connect to the person you're talking to. Like how you can help them as opposed to they can help you. And always find a way to find a creative way to get an entrance and go and speak to everyone. I speak to everyone and everything that I think is related to my business. I have no shame, sorry, you know, just go out there, you have nothing to lose. What's the worst thing that could happen to you? And keep connecting and do your research properly. Like who are you talking to and how you can help them, and find that connection.
I totally agree with you. I think the most important part, of course, we said a lot of very
Yeah.
important things here, but I think it's understanding who is your ICP. So focus on who's your ICP, understand their needs before you go sell something. The selling is about talking and starting a conversation. So if you understand your ICP and what are their needs, you can then understand, okay, how what I do and my company does can understand what are the needs, and then we can connect. Because if you are trying to sell something to somebody that is not listening to you, it's impossible.
And
So the main process here is to understand the ICP, who you're talking to, and understand what is your go-to-market. Sometimes we want to sell to everybody. Okay, I want to sell to an enterprise. Of course, everybody does, right? So the thing is, are you prepared to sell to an enterprise company? If you're not prepared, you're going to be like, you're going to suck. I'm sorry. So understanding your need and the needs of who you are working to, it's basics. And then you can understand the process. Then you can do all the marketing, everybody working together. So marketing, sales, and CS, understanding what are the needs of your customers. So then you can do, like, this is going to be easy.
Yes, and it seems easy, but at the end of the day, you guys have to think that this is an A/B test, okay? This is not a solution. You have to come to Web Summit and understand first, is this worth to be here? What are you selling? Your persona is actually here or not? Maybe they are outside, in São Paulo, not in Rio. I don't know. I really love the T-shirt from Corinthians, but Antonio wants to offer me from Flamengo. So what are we going to do? So you have to understand if this is the place for you, if the product that you're selling is actually the type of persona is here or not, and is a test.
Yeah.
And will take time to understand. And the solution will not come out today, maybe not tomorrow. You will need some practice, some time.
And Anna,
And
I
also-
would love to tell you a really quick story about NG Cash. Like this April, we were thinking about, oh, what we're gonna do for April Fool's Day. I don't know, so many ideas coming up, and then we thought, wouldn't it be fun to put like you pay with your flip flops, like you put like aproximação, but
Yeah.
with your flip flops. So we created Chinelo Pay as a joke, and we created reels on it, TikTok on it. We spent like 10 reais to create the videos. We had over 500,000 views, and we created a wait list. So over 5,000 people entered the wait list to buy a fake flip flop that pays with aproximação. And now we're probably launching it in a couple of months. So like this is a good like joke of how we launched the product as a joke.
Yeah.
And people wanted it. It solved like a funny pain of them. And now we're probably thinking of launching it in the next 2 months.
Okay.
So-
And adding to what you said,
Yeah.
look into your audience. Are they here in Rio? Are they like in São Paulo? Where are they? And I think it's very important. Sometimes we're talking to like everybody, but sometimes we're focusing on the people, but not using the right channel to talk to them. Maybe that your audience is not on LinkedIn and you are just communicating on LinkedIn. How are you going to communicate with them? Are they on TikTok? Are they on Instagram? Are they on Facebook?
Yeah.
Are they
maybe they're
only
there.
on like
Yeah.
stages like this? So sometimes you are talking. You're right. But the problem is where you're talking to. If they are not there, you're not communicating with them.
I agree. So
Yeah.
the time
One-
is running, but please.
One
please.
small thing, always do it with integrity and no bullshit. You know, you can't, that is important because you know it, you can smell it. You don't want to go there, be honest in what you want to ask. That's my last
Thank you.
words.
So we only have 1 minute, sorry. We should have more time. But I have a provocative question, as always. What do you guys think is the most dangerous thing about AI at the moment? I'm a huge fan of AI, and I think sometimes people don't know how to take advantage of it. But in your fields, what is the most dangerous thing?
Dangerous?
Dangerous.
Dangerous?
Well-
Can I start?
You want to start?
The thing is, like, sometimes people think about AI like something that you are like, you build it, you copy and paste. The first criteria is that you need to be very criterious and understand what you're talking about. Do not copy and paste. It's not
Exactly.
going to work.
Still
it's
use your
very
brain.
dangerous. Yeah. This is the most important part for me.
Antonio, do you want to say something?
Really quickly, for me, the danger is companies that don't use AI to optimize their processes. They're probably going to get bought by companies that do use AI to speed up their processes and do better things.
Yeah. No, now I have nothing to say.
Oh, sorry.
No, I guess the most dangerous thing is thinking that it's dangerous.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a nice perspective, Lisa.
No, I mean, if we think it's a danger, then it stops our development. I think that is to stop thinking that it's going to take over the world. I mean, we need to progress. And my last advice is, with ChatGPT, always say thank you at the end. You never know when the robots are going to take over the world.
Thank you. It has been a pleasure to moderate such a special conversation. Thank you so much, guys. It was a pleasure to meet you.
On time.
Yeah,
wow.
I know we don't have
Thank
more
you.
time, but let's keep
Wow.
this
Wow,
conversation
we did it.
offline. Make sure you follow Lisa, Renata, and Antonio on the app, and hope to see you guys soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I will buy a Flamengo t-shirt for sure.
Please.
Thank you.
Thank you.